Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku's Showboat. Dolly is here. Hi. Hello, my Dolly. There's the baby girl. She's here and wants to play. She wants to play and groom apparently. Hi. Hi, my sweet. Yes, that's a baby. That's my sweet kitty. Yeah, there you are. Today is Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. It is Mardi Gras today, technically. The day before Ash Wednesday, of course. Yesterday was President's Day. And the day before was Valentine's Day. So just a whole bunch of stuff all at once this week, as I was saying previously in this morning's stream. What breed? Well, she's domestic long hair, so she's a mix. Mix of stuff. We think part Maine Coon. We think she's part Maine Coon. That's sort of why we got our two kittens that we have, is because Dolly is this long-haired tabby, which may have a large breed. Yes, Fluff. She's Fluff. But she's partnered with her brother, Ollie, who is short-haired gray, dark gray. Yes, you're talking. Hey, get off of my light. Get off of the light that's off. Yeah, you get down. You get down. So, her and her brother were a quote-unquote bonded pair. Rescues. They're rescue kitties. They're both 11 months old, as of yesterday, and we got them at about 12 weeks. That's when we brought them from North Carolina. So, yeah, we got them because we were looking for a long-haired, and we ended up with both a long hair and a short hair. Sneeze. Yes, rescues are the best breed, and Ollie he's a big boy. He's a big boy. He didn't get the long hair of the large breeds, like Maine Coons, but he sure got the size. He's over 11 pounds. Meow. Yeah, get down. Get down. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, my pretty girl, with her pineapple charm. Yes, that's a pretty girl. That's a pretty girl. Yes, you're a pretty girl. Yes, hello, Ave. Welcome. Dolly is here and is full of energy. Yes, you lay down. You lay down on the little towel I got there for you. Maybe your brother will show up at some point. Although he's been sleepy. He's been sleepy out in the living room. Yes, ear fluff. She has ear fluff. Absolutely, she has ear fluff. Definitely the traits of the large breeds. of the Maine Coon, and she also has the paw tufts, the little extra tuft of hair between her toesies, which is exactly what our previous cat had. He was part Maine Coon, mix from the SPCA in the city next door when we got him. And just the best personality. The best personality. Which is why we wanted a similar breed. So, yes. That was like the whole idea behind my mother wanting to get a large breed cat like Maine Coon, because our previous cat was like that, and we really enjoyed the personality that the breed brings. Not only that it's a really soft long hair. So she ended up finding that rescue posting for a couple of different pairs, but we went with this pair, and we got this pair. There was another pair that was up for rescue that was 2 females that looked nearly identical to each other, and I was like, nah. They look too similar to each other. We're never gonna really be able to learn the difference in the names between the two. So it's like, nah. And as it turns out, it turns out neither of them were girls in the end. Yeah, so there was some confusion at the rescue, so yeah, about that. Anyway, I've done some stuff in Dyson Sphere Program. You may notice my Dyson Sphere has a couple swarms around it, and we're firing a lot from a Klarkov 1. There's a lot of solar sails being fired off from a Klarkov 1. This is what I did yesterday, off screen, and we'll get to the techs as well. Techs. So as it turns out, the carrier engine, level 8 to level 9, ended up being 18k after taking level 8. So that scaled more, I think. A little bit more. Because level 7, I think, was 2. Level 8 was 8. And now this one's 18. So a little different on the scaling, as it turns out, between each individual tech. Yeah, Energy Circuit 6 went up to 12k at 7 rather than 8k. Or rather than 16 or higher. I think it was 8. No, it was 4. So it didn't go to 8, it went to 12. So it went more, higher. Inconsistent is what I'm trying to say in the price scaling on these. Currently working on the vein utilizations, though. The logistics vessels now go about as fast as I do. 0.2 light years per second versus 0.21. The flight speed generally is now faster, quite a bit faster. In fact, the logistics vessels fly faster in the system than I do. And they got 400 meters per second on me now. So that's something. Otherwise, yeah, 3.4 base mech fuel power now, so we've got that going for us. Extra recharge capability. Ends up being 20.4 megawatts with the antimatter fuel rods. And then there's this. I have a ring around the equator of rail injectors on this planet, all aimed at the equator. The great big one right there, that great big Dyson swarm. Giant glowy Dyson swarm. And both poles have a double ring of the rail injectors now. A few more on the South Pole than the North Pole. And I've got artificial suns providing power. Stars, excuse me. Providing power to all the things on this world. So that was my little project that I did off screen. And as it turns out, if I hit Y and I look at the Dyson Sphere, which is now capable of producing 7.48 total between the swarm and the shell, as it turns out, any given node can only be pulling in 120 solar sails at a time. I didn't know this, but it seems that they do actually cap at how many solar sails they can suck in at any one time. And that cap is 120. And it does also appear, the game just auto-saved, it does also appear that you do need some level of completeness of the structure point before it starts pulling in solar sails. You need to have some amount of structure added to the nodes. So that's a thing. The solar sails also take their sweet time migrating to the individual nodes once they are reserved. So yeah, this will complete itself when it decides to complete itself at this point. Meaning all that's really left to do is scale everything else. And of course I have the infrastructure on this planet that produces solar sails, meaning that if I really want to, once this Dyson Sphere is done, I could ship solar sails to other star systems and start making Dyson swarms around other stars. Because I'm making a few solar sails with all these Mark III assemblers. Making a few of them. Well, thank you for the subscription to the channel. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Glorious subscriptions, thank you so very much for all of that while I happen to be live. The notifications for the subscriptions could be anyone on any video on my entire YouTube channel choosing to subscribe while I'm currently live. Not necessarily are they actually here. But thank you anyway for your subscriptions. All of this is being fed by just one input of solar sails, and it's a contiguous ring around the equator of Mark III belt. It's glorious. And if I move the Tesla towers a little bit, I could put one on the other side on the whole ring. Well, the rate at which I am shooting seems to be able to keep up on the production of the solar sails. So yeah, with everything shooting at the Dyson Sphere on the equatorial, it does appear to keep up. Because not only a portion of them are active at any one time. I think it's less than half. It is less than half. There's like right in the middle, it's too high of an angle, but on either side they get firing going. So it's not quite half at any one time shooting from the equator, that is. The problem with this planet, if we look straight north, is that we've got a 12 degree, 49-minute axial inclination. So this planet is extremely tilted, and it has a 6-degree orbital inclination. So it's also off kilter It's also off kilter on the orbit. And that does affect quite a bit on the ability of the dudes to fire at the equatorial line of the star. So there's that, helping out quite a bit with my ability to make antimatter on a Klarkrov 4. 3, whatever. Where is the Klarkrov 3? Is it on the other side of the doohickey? Get away from the planet. There we go. 3 is behind me. 2 and 3. So, what I have not mentioned yet is that I have taken research speed 1 and 2 at this point. Huzzah! Huzzah, huzzah, huzzoo, huzzum! So I am able to process my research a fair bit faster. A fair bit more quickly. Looks like we are actually able to fulfill the continuous receiving requests on my ray receivers, producing photons. So that's a great thing. And we are full up on antimatter. Oh joy. Oh bliss. I can make a ton of antimatter fuel rods if I so desired. And I am near enough fully utilizing both of these. Why are you both? Oh, because greens. I need to address the green matrix problem. We need more green science. And the problem with green science, part of it is being used to make warpers. A lot of warpers. But also, it uses tons of quantum chips. I need an at-scale build for quantum chips. I need more. I need so much more. Which gives me a prime opportunity here to do a little thing called exploration. Oh boy. Yes. Exploration. We need a planet with a lot of buildable area. And I want to ideally produce as much as I can on that planet to go into these quantum chips. So the planet that I need to go to is going to need several things. It's going to need copper and silicon, at least, as well as iron for the circuit boards. Alright, that's going to be for just the processors by themselves. Silicon, copper, iron to get into processors. All of which are the ingot variety. The quantum chips, that's a little bit more. That's a little more. Quantum chips need the plane filters. The plane filters need Casimir crystals and titanium glass. The titanium glass is going to need glass and titanium and water. So now we're talking about needing water when the idea is that I will be on a planet with a lot of buildable space. ideally. So now we need iron, copper, silicon, titanium, stone for glass, and water. And then Casimir crystals, graphene, hydrogen, and the other crystal type that I will likely import from interstellar means, the optical grading crystals. It says it's a rare resource. Optical grading crystals are actually incredibly common for being a rare resource. So that much helps to save even more titanium and even more other stuff. But I am going to need a source of hydrogen and graphene. Well, as it turns out, you get both of those from fire ice. And you need even more hydrogen on top of that. So you can prioritize the use of the hydrogen out of the processing of the fire ice to get the graphene to make the Casimir crystals and bring in a supply of optical grading crystals. So, an ideal system for me, for this build, would need to have a good source of hydrogen, a good source of fire ice, a good source of optical grading crystals, titanium, silicon, iron, copper, stone. And the power to power it all, and a planet with enough space to build it. We have a mission. I'm gonna need a few more of those. Thanks. The thing about the fire ice is that it comes in two varieties. It comes from ore veins on ice worlds, and it comes from ice giants. So there are two. Are the planets randomly generated? I see as a question here, because I went over just in case to see if I was on top chat or live chat, and as it turns out, I was on top chat, not live chat. The planets themselves are randomized in terms of what the resources are on the planets. There is a lot of randomization. There are specific planet types, biome types that are assigned to each planet. You will always begin the game on a Mediterranean satellite around a gas giant in a system that has at least one other planet in it. Maybe it also might have two always. So the starting condition is kept consistent across playthroughs. The rest of the galaxy, of the cluster of stars, yeah. Everything gets randomized. In terms of what's around specific stars and such. Although, note, some rare resources appear to be tied to the type of planet that they are on. The biome of the planet that they are on. So the biome here, Mediterranean, is the type of world that I'm on here. We have a Klarkrov 4 out here. This is an Icefield Gelisol. That's its biome type, the type of planet. And this planet has liquid water in small amounts. Could have had fire ice on it, but didn't get any, which makes me very sad. And then this Gobi planet, no water, basically complete construction area on it. Firing my Dyson swarm out at the thing there. So I actually need to be in the star map because I am going to be looking for a location with the conditions that I was just pointing out. A source of fire ice, a source of hydrogen, a source of the optical grading crystals, and a source of all the other stuff. This has almost got what I need, but it doesn't have a gas giant at Faircod. The Crux doesn't have a gas giant, so that immediate dead to me. Canis Minoris, no gas giant, dead to me. Iota Sextantis has a gas giant with hydrogen and deuterium, but it has a planet with fire ice, but it does not have any of the optical grading crystals, which is sad. And I would rather have a ice giant instead of a gas giant. Hades has a ice giant with fire ice, but it doesn't have the optical grading crystals on it. That's sad. You've got fire ice as a node. Mirfok doesn't have what I need. 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 That has what I need. Optical grading crystal. Fire ice hydrogen. Ice giant. All of the resources. Winner. Ding ding ding. Ding ding ding. Notice. I do hope that that's not like trace amounts of optical grading crystals. Alright. We have to... Ah, it's already pinned. Good. I may have already been there at some point. But as it turns out, this is ideal for me. Oh yeah, I sort of off-screen automated the production of satellite substations. They are interesting. Yes, time for exploration. Time to go to Notice. So we can begin our quantum chips at scale. Oh gosh, and I have a regrettable lack of smelters, so we're going to need to be importing quite a few things. Definitely going to be using up our warpers, that's for sure. I'll be using the artificial stars with antimatter fuel rods as well for my power supply at all of these various planets. Something tells me that I won't have all of what I need on one planet here. Alright, let's get a little closer. Wow. Stuff be a little far away. Because that's a really big star. The distances are rather incredible here. Notice 5 has 5.8 mil fire ice. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. You also have fire ice. Fortunately, I don't need to worry about those two. Not that many grading crystals. Not that... Oh, you've both got grading crystals. Cool. It doesn't matter as much about the optical grading crystals. I need to actually land on one of these, which is the one with the water. Neither. Okay. Okay. There's an ice world that has water. It might be Notice 5. Alright, land. Let's see. 4 does not have ocean. 5, then you, way over there, you have water. Very trace amounts of water. But you have it, nonetheless. This glorious ice-filled Jellicol. With fire ice. Oh yeah, I came here because I remember why I initially explored this particular star and why I left it behind. I was looking for immense amounts of optical grading crystals, as well as noticed fractosilicon, but then I looked at the density and I'm like, nah. No, I'm good. Thanks. Bye. I actually first want the gas giant. Hi. Hello, glorious blue ice giant. Alright, we should be right near the equator. Ta-da! There's the equator right there. So now we get to place 40 of these. Glorious things. These are going to be producing fire ice and hydrogen. They are going to be consuming the hydrogen to operate. And they're going to be able to operate even when full on fire ice. So let's keep all of this in mind. To keep making hydrogen. This is why I wanted an ice giant world in particular, because it's going to solve our graphene and hydrogen at the same time for making the Casimir crystals. The orbital collector has a gathering speed at my current level of tech of 13.6 times each one. They also take 30 megawatts of energy to operate. That's 30 megajoules per second per building. The rate at which we are getting hydrogen is 0.34 per second per building. That is 0.34 times 13.6. So 4.624 minus the amount that the machine uses to power itself, minus that 30 megawatts or megajoules per second. Now 4.624, hydrogen has a fuel value of 8 megajoules. So that's about 37, just slightly under 37 megajoules. You have to subtract 30 from that, and then divide it by 8 again. So, each one of these orbital collectors is going to provide 0.874 hydrogen. The machines get their energy by consuming part of the collected hydrogen. That's where the energy comes from for these machines. The 30 megawatts of energy that they consume comes from the gathered hydrogen. So each one of these, 0.874 at current mining speed, times 40 of them around the equator. You can only build around the equator. Will be just shy of 34.96 hydrogen per second produced out of these. It is very similar math on the fire ice. Hello, Vicky. But that's much easier because we don't have to subtract the amount of that's being consumed for power. So we have 0.78 times 13.6 mining speed times 40. A lot. Yeah, a lot. 424.6 0.32 fire ice a second off of this gas giant. Infinitely. Gas giants never run out of their resources, so fire ice is an infinite resource, as is the hydrogen that is being produced here, as is on normal gas giants the deuterium that they also produce. Just to keep all of these things in mind. This is why you want orbital collectors. You want to use your orbital collectors at all times. And is also a reason why X-ray cracking of refined oil is not actually a thing that you really need to do once you're at this phase of the game. It's fine to be able to produce more red matrix cubes early on when that's the level of tech you're at, and you don't have as many refined oil sinks, and you want to make sure that you always have a consistent supply of the hydrogen. Once you get to the point where you can make orbital collectors and you do gain an infinite supply of hydrogen, X-ray cracking is immediately superfluous. In fact, you have to deal with having too much hydrogen rather than having too much refined oil. It'll be that opposite problem on the whole oil processing setup. Oh gosh, so many more. And my drones are not fast enough to keep up with the flight speed around the ice giant here. I like this blue. This blue is pretty. Of course, modeled off of our own ice giants. Our Neptune. Excuse me, but no. There. And there is one that looks like our other ice giant as well. They have both varieties of blue / cyan. And they have the one that looks like Jupiter and the ones that look like Saturn. Though it would be interesting to see more artistic variation, right? Because right now in this game, quite a bit of content. There is a variety of different planet types, biomes, but they're all based off of like our planet's different variety of biomes and the types of planets that are in our own solar system. Like, could we please get some more exotic stuff? Like planets made of rubies? Giant ruby planet? That would be nice. Or like asteroid fields. Oh gosh, could you imagine? Asteroid mining? Setting up our little collectors or in an asteroid field. I need the actually no, I need that one. Huh? Where? What? I'm getting turned around. There you are. Notice 3. Because there's a whole bunch of planets that have been characterized in science of distant world planets. We haven't, of course, truly seen what those distant planets look like, but we know based off of the scientific data that we have of them, some of the characteristics of them. And it should be easy enough to make interpretations of how they would look in a game like this. Yeah, the planets here, they're small, but they're also large, and the scale is, of course, video game type scale. All of the planets here are exactly the same size. Like, there's no variance in the size of the planets either. None of the planets have their own moons. The only planets that we have that have moons are gas giants that have planet moons. Oh, you do have silicon here. Good. Where is the North Pole? That way. Why, hello. The Ollie is here. It's the brother. The brother to the Dolly. Hi, Ollie. How's the baby? How's my ginormous 11-month-old kitten? Huh? How's my baby? My short-haired, pretty gray baby. Yes. Gray baby with the black whiskers. Dolly's a gray baby with white, more white and tan. And she has white whiskers with the occasional black one. He's got black whiskers with the occasional lighter one. Lighter roots on a couple of them. Yeah. That's the boy. That's a pretty boy. In the lap. Yeah, you see my mech flying? You see my pointer going around the screen? Yes, he does. He's a pretty boy. Alright. Pull. Behind me. Grab this. Ta-da! Nonk.
You have established.
I have established an interstellar station. Thanks. I would have never have guessed. Yes, my boy. Relaxing in the lap. Ollie is absolutely my lap kitty. He loves my lap. My lap in particular. He spends a lot of time here. Dolly will too, but nowhere near as much as Ollie. He has to get my lap a few times a day. Alright, what do I need? As well, consistently from here. I want these. Thank you for these. I only had 154? Huh. Interesting. Aww. Well, we've got several people here for the whole responsibility thing. I'm not the one who feeds them usually. I say usually. I will have to this weekend. 'Cause folks are gonna be out of town. So I'll be here taking care of kittens. That's my role, ultimately. I take out the garbage full of cat litter when it's super heavy. I'm the heavy lifter. And because... No, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. And because they're very comfy with me, for whatever reason, I also help with their grooming. Because kittens need grooming, too. Ah, we have had our delivery. Go. Ta-da! Just a little bit of power. 750 megawatts. That means I have 10 of them. Just a little bit of power here. Don't mind me, as I generate all of the power ever. Here, have some NRG. All of it. All of it! 300 megawatt charging power. Go. You shall be full. I don't even think I need it here, but... It's one that has the space warpers. I could bring in, these. Remote demand. And local supply. All of them. Oh yeah, I guess it helps that has 300. You need more sulfuric acid? Yeah, I sort of scaled that up. I scaled mine up. I think I have like at least 60. Yes, my boy. Yes, my boy. And eventually we're going to get a set of clippers for these claws. We need to get clippers for these claws. We haven't had to have clippers because our previous cat, when we adopted him from the SPCA, already had a previous owner that declawed his front claws. So we didn't have to worry about the trimming of the claws. We had someone else trim the back claws on occasion. During like normal grooming stuff at the vet. But these kitties, these are perfectly healthy, normal kitties with all of their claws. And we had to go through the experience of them learning how to use their claws and how not to use their claws. From 12 weeks old and beyond. So yeah, that was a great experience. We've got... My mother in particular has several scars, I'm sure, from the experience. Because they would like to jump to your lap, and instead of being able to jump to your lap when they're that big, they grab and climb with claws fully extended. And it takes them a bit to learn, like, hey, we're saying, ow, you're hurting us when you use the claws. Because they do learn that, yes, it's them with their claws that are hurting, causing pain. They are smart enough to understand. And Ollie learned relatively fast. Dolly, not so much. Unfortunately, Dolly is, I don't think she's quite as, smart as her brother. She doesn't pick up on things as well as he does. She's very vocal as well. well, where he's more body language. His actions tell us more about what he wants. Which means he's very, very, very lovey-dovey when he wants stuff. Always rubbing the legs. Yes. Sitting and sleeping in my lap. All of the time. I need iron as well. How much iron is here? Smaller, denser patches. Alright. This'll work. Right, so, even though that's not that many, at my current speed, gathering speed, 51 per minute per vein. In, in an hour from now, that'll be a bit faster. That'll go mining speed 170 to 180. Note that that is diminishing returns with each subsequent tech that we get, by the way. And this rate is actually going to be... It's going to happen a little bit faster, because this is limited by my rate of... By my rate of the green cubes making additional white cubes. So this will be faster once I solve that little issue. 6, 7, 7, 7. 27 veins times 51 per minute. Divided by 60 seconds per minute. 22.95. So if we add 4 more... Have I checked the mods for this game? Not recently. My initial playthrough, of most games, I prefer not using mods unless there is something that is above and beyond required for quality of life, and working and not buggy and such. I am tempted to have the mod that adds the sorter pasting, allowing you to basically put down an assembling machine, put the sorters on the assembling machine, and then when you shift copy and paste down, it automatically places those sorters that were on the pasted machine. Copied machine, excuse me. So that's a mod. But it's not perfect because there are some visual bugs with it. And of course, I saw Nilaus had videos of it in his playthrough, yeah. And he had problem with it where it caused a corrupted sorter, and he had to revert his save because he didn't want to have to deal with having a corrupted sorter. Yeah, I'll go that way and put the smelting line there. So I added another 8. So that was 27 plus 8, 35? That's just shy of 30. It's 36 for 30, approximately. Per second of the ore out, which is the throughput of these belts. So that's the iron. I'll go ahead and... Oh, I need to request more smelters. 300 will do. 300 will do. It's sending 1,000. Oh, right, you. Do I want it to be you? I don't think I'm gonna have it be this one. I need one that's gonna bring in the hydrogen and the fire ice from the ice giant. Okay, where am I gonna do the line of the copper? Probably here. I can see it in my mind. And I'm just going to imagine that this is going to be a number greater than 36 between 8, 7, 8, 8, 7, and 7. 8, 7, 8, 8, 7, 7. Yeah, that's 45. So that's a little bit more than 36 for the number of veins. You're gonna go this way for your smelting. Now, I'm going to need a lot more copper as well for this. Let's keep that in mind too. And I need stone tapped. And I'll need a lot more silicon. Oh god, this is... Have I mentioned that this is going to be a build? Because this is going to be a build. This is going to be a bit on the much side of things. That's a lot of veins that covered. Wow. 6, 9, 9. 7, 8, 6. 45. Okay. Okay. That's good. And then once this tech finishes, everything goes 10% faster. 10% of base 30 faster, that is. So it adds 3, so it'll be 54. It'll go up to 54 per minute per vein, rather than 51 per minute per vein. Interesting. I should have those thingies now. These stack to 50, so I could grab a lot of them. I'm gonna swap out to conveyor belts. Bring me 2K. Thanks. Alright. Now, I'm toying with the idea of shoving these into a logistics station and having a separate logistics station closer to the equator for the actual circuit board build, CPU build, and quantum chip build. And of course a place that's processing the fire ice. But I should do that local to where I'm using the graphene for the Casimir crystals. Now, I brought these optical grading crystals in here. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Forcing me to local supply drone out. Oops, wrong thing. Wait, won't I be needing these for the fire ice? Yep. I'll be needing those. Aw. Hold up. Aha. Yes. That's 10. 15. 20. 25. And 30. I built this belt along the fault line for a reason. It allows me to build to either side of it, the actual building itself, without having to worry too much. And as it turns out, on this side of the vault, it has small enough squares that I can keep these guys directly next to each other. Notice that the individual tiles are larger on the top than they are down here. Which is what is allowing for the tighter spacing between these buildings. And why you get a lot larger of a gap building on the other side. I would hazard a guess and say that the gap up above is large enough to fit stuff between them, other smaller entities between. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. Hope you like sorters. Hope you like sorter building. What was that boom? Huh? Ollie? What was that boom? There was a boom! A pine cone fell on the roof. The big boom. Earlier today, I was talking about the house that I'm living in, and all of the issues of the house that I'm living in. Oh, there's always more issues that we can discuss about the house that I'm living in, beyond all of the electrical ones. Hi, Ollie. Ollie has left the lap. He's now splayed. He's splayed himself right down on the towel. Now that's a big kitty. Now that's a great big kitty with his great big paws. With his great big paws. Yeah. That's a baby. That's the big kitty. "11 months yesterday." And he's 11 and a half pounds right now. If he has any Maine Coon in him, he's going to be growing until he's several years old. He'll just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Let's see, that's good placement. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. because I'm building like this, I'm not going to make use of the substations, but just know that they are a thing. They have covered. These do cover a lot. In fact, if anything, I would like substations on. Oh gosh, they have a range to them, don't they? On the connection between them. I want to cover the ore patches here with substations, and I'll use a wireless power tower to connect it all up. There you go. Hi. Why, hello there. So, those substations, Nilaus described them very accurately as pins on the pin cushion, forming the like acupuncture pins. Yeah, it's exactly it. I convinced you to get a kitten. Cool. Just pay attention to what you feed them. I hope you're ready for an infinite money sink. Here's why not to get a kitten. They are expensive. They are truly expensive. Especially if you get a rescue. While getting the actual kitten from a rescue is cheap, the vet bills are not. I built on the other sides, on the iron, so I'll build on the other side for this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Particularly if they're a rescue, oftentimes the rescue environments themselves, the being with several other cats, especially other kittens, will often mean that they will end up with several different types of infections, including but not limited to ear mites, ear yeast, cat scratch disease, bacteria, parasites, potentially, all sorts of nastiness. And yeah, these kittens needed a lot of work. To fix them up. Both of these kittens. I actually think Dolly's still here. I think I just heard her. Several visits that cost well over $300 a piece. So, in the end, well over $1,500 was spent on these kittens. In terms of the vet bills and such. So that's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. So don't be surprised if you want to get a rescue, that you're going to have to spend immense amounts of money on the vet bills. which often would not get covered by any pet insurance because they are pre-existing conditions. These kittens had ear mites, ear yeast, fecal parasites. They needed medication for their eyes, eye drops, ear drops, squirts in their mouth. Ollie will always have the bacteria that causes cat scratch disease in particular. Likely Dolly has it too, because they were together, same litter and all that with the other rescues. And he got additional medication. It took a long time to get rid of the ear infections. And yeah, it's great. It's great. And then, of course, there's the experience of actually having to administer medication to a kitten / cat. That is an experience in and of itself, which we are fortunately, or unfortunately, very familiar with, so it was pretty easy for us to do that with these kittens, because we've had prior experience with our previous cat. Cole had pain medicine that he needed to take daily, and another medication that needed to be given bi-daily. Shots in the mouth. So, yeah. We were aware. He was on gabapentin. Kitty version of gabapentin pain medicine. For his arthritis. Oh, poor Cole. He was only with us for 9 years-ish. Well, not with us for 9. He was about 9 when he passed away. From all of his own health conditions. So that's silicone. That'll be the glass. I'm actually going to do this a little differently. I'm going to arrange the glass first on the smelters. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 30. You know, it's getting really tempting to use these. For this build now. It's getting real tempting. But I'm not going to. This will go out the bottom that way. In this way. And then there's a lot of inserters to place. Sorters to place. Yes, Ollie. Hi. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. You've got a claw in my shirt sleeve. There you go. Yeah. He's curled up, got that chin up. Yes. Yes, my boy. My baby. Yeah, I know I don't have any hair issues. It's just these are expensive Satellite substations are expensive. That's why. That's why I'm hesitant to use them. They consume a few resources to make them. In particular, they use up supermagnetic rings and frame materials. That being said, all of the belt that I'm using, every 3 segments of it uses an entire supermagnetic ring, so what am I saying? Really? What am I complaining about, really? Time for a bajillion sorters. Are you ready to place 90 total sorters between these 3 lines? Oh boy. Not even 90, it's, oh god. 180. Twice as many. Oh god. 2 times the number of buildings. You know, part of me does like this design on the belts, in that they are one item along the belt. But part of me does also... Oh, I don't need to place the things there. Okay, I thought I had to place them on that one too. But I also am thinking about how that's influenced the design of the recipes of this game. Because in Factorio, you have 2 lanes per belt of items. And there are many things that you can do with that concept, such that the developers can intend for you to have separate items being sent down different lanes of a belt. And it allows them to design recipes with many different ingredients for the recipes. When you have a single lane like this, it inherently limits how many ingredients a recipe can reasonably have. Fundamentally, as part of the design of the game. Just one of those interesting things to note. Now, does that mean that there aren't some recipes that use a lot? There are some in this game that use a lot of ingredients, but you're sort of limited to 6 total things, including the output, to keep the things able to be automated consistently. Really? Why does that need to be up 1? Alright, go. Success! The pin cushioning of the planet has begun. That's the input. There you go. Enjoy the glass, and the copper, and the silicon, and the iron. Oh gosh. That's a lot of stuff. And I'm clipped. My head, my wonderful, beautiful hair is clipped. There we go. Much better. Speaking of which, I don't really have any water. I'll be needing more at some point. It's almost been half the stream. Wow. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. What have I been doing? Talking about kittens and cats. Oh hey, 1,500 more. And we'll have another 10%. How is power? Laughable. We need more. Let's actually think about this for a sec and do a little bit of planning. This will be like our hell mod time. Factory planning for a sec, because I need to think about how many raw resources I actually need, right? We just sort of set up a bunch of stuff up there. That's part what I need, but there's gonna be more. So, quantum chips. How many do I actually want each second? So for every 6 of these buildings, that makes 1. I want, let's make an arbitrary number, 10. I want 10 per second. 60 buildings. Not 60, it's 60 divided by 1.5. 40 of the buildings. Well, if I want 10 quantum chips, I'm going to need 20 each of the CPUs and the plane filters. And I'm going to start making some notes here. 10 quantum chips. 20 CPU. 20 plane filters. Okay. Now, the CPUs, these need twice as many of the chips and microcrystalline components. So that would be 40 circuit board and 40 microcrystalline components. All right. All of them. Yes, we need all of the things. All of the things. 40 circuit boards. 40 circuit boards will need 40 iron ingot and 20 copper ingot. Okay. And this is a very fast recipe. You don't need that many buildings. It just makes what it makes. The microcrystalline components, these are 2 silicon plates each and 1 copper plate each, which means I would need 80 silicon ingot and another 40 copper ingot. Meaning we now need 60 copper ingot in total, or 2 smelting lines. 80 silicon ingots. A single smelting line is 15 ingots out from 30 ore in. It's 160 ore per second consumed of silicon. And that's for the CPUs alone. And then there were plane filters. We need 20 plane filters. 20 plane filters per second is 20 Casimir crystals and 40 titanium glass. We'll look at the titanium glass first. The titanium glass, 40 of it, is going to be 40 each of glass and titanium and water. Titanium ingot. So that's going to be 80 stone and 80 titanium ore. Okay. The Casimir crystals through the alternate recipe. To get 20 of those, (20 times 6), 120 optical grading crystals. Uh, 240 graphene. And 240 hydrogen. And then just for my own note, the graphene from the alternate recipe of fire ice, that is a 1-to-1. So in reality, it would be, the hydrogen would be minus 40 from fire ice. 40 fire ice. So yeah, 240 hydrogen. That sounds like a number that's greater than the amount that's being produced by my current gas giant. My gas giant makes 35 hydrogen per second. That's a little bit less than 100 than 200. That's just a little less than 200. So that's 10 quantum chips. Here, I shall show you my notepad. Ta-da! Notepad++. 10 quantum chips is 20 processors, 40 circuit boards, which is 40 iron ingots, 20 copper ingots, and 40 microcrystalline components, which is 80 silicon ingots and 40 copper ingots. 20 plane filters, or 20 Casimir crystals, which is 120 of the optical grading crystals, 40 graphene, and 240 hydrogen, of which if you get your graphene from fire ice, 40 of that is offset. So 200 input hydrogen. And then 40 titanium glass is 40 glass, 40 titanium ingots, and 40 water. All of that for 10 quantum chips per unit time, whatever. So, You said maybe like 100 per second. Why stick with 10? Because it's a lot of tedium to do more than even to do 10, to be honest. What is a more realistic value? If we cap it to the amount of hydrogen that we have, we're not actually going to be able to produce that many. Now, the good thing is that there should be... Oh god, there's no oil. Okay. Most worlds have an oil planet. Most systems have an oil planet. This does not have an oil planet. It would appear I need to import hydrogen from another system. And I'm not making anywhere near 120 optical grading crystals, by the way. So, 2? 2? I vote 2. Hey, I have played Pionodons. But consider the difference between Factorio and this, in that in Factorio we have access to very, very fast ways of placing our inserters. Versus here, where we have to manually place every single entity. The difference between blueprints and not blueprints. So for 2, how many quantum chips am I making now? 2, 1, 1.5, technically, I think. On my home planet, 1.5. It was originally 1, and then scaled to 1.5 when I upgraded all of the machines to Mark IIIs. So for 2 quantum chips, that will be, of course, 4 CPU, which will be 8 circuit board, 8 iron ingot. You vote for 4? My concern is the optical grading crystals and the hydrogen at 4. I mean, even if I have the number of optical grading crystals, that's still 60 per second getting used at a time across the entirety of the base. I can import them, but I'll have to go someplace else and mine more of them before I can rely on it. Sure, I can design, I can build out a design that can make use of the amount, but they're going to be limited until then, until I actually get the amount. It'll be limited. It's like, yeah, sure, I can build a 10 quantum chip system, it's just I can't feed it. I can't feed the 10 quantum chip system at the moment. No matter what I do, I'm gonna have to go out and get more stuff. Ollie, you're consuming all of my armrest on here. Which is why I need to decide, like, what do we do? Because I have the fire ice for the graphene. Okay, like that I've got immense amounts of. That much is good. Alright, what have we done up here? 30 copper, 15 silicon, 15 glass, and 30 iron ingot. That's what we have done up here. Now, there was a spot right here. This is the spot. Hi. You are the spot. Yes, blue star. Blue star for the blue chips. You are going to supply the quantum chips at the end of all of this nonsense. I'm going to bring in, probably from somewhere else, the processors and the... Hello, tech! My thingies. They now do 54 per minute per vein. And we have 60.96 ore consumption per miner product. 60.96. The next one is 16K. Just so's we're aware. It went from 12K to 16K, plus 4,000. I am completely okay with each one of these going up by 4,000 units linearly. I'm very happy about that, actually. Well, I'm not happy that it goes up, but I am happy that it doesn't scale as hard as exponential. Yeah, this is a lie. This is a lie. The whole point of this build is that it will make this number smaller. That is the point of my build for the quantum chips. And you will need the plane filters to make those. Where okay, how many of these buildings am I going to need? Is the next question. You there are making those. We are going to work backwards, of course, on here. It is 6 per 1 per second. It is 4 Mark 3s per 1 per second. Yes, getting close to that 1 per second per vein. I think that's 2 more? 2 more. 2 more techs on here that after this second one, we will have 60 per minute per vein because it goes up by 3. It goes up by 3 each tech on the gathering speed. Which, yeah. That'll be nice. Where we can just say, hey, if you cover 30 ore veins, you've got a belt. So that's 1 per second. 2. 3. 4. 5. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's so easy. The fuck? Starting from the end and working our way back. You're going to need, warpers. Excuse... Oh. Huh? Did I not power the... Oh, I set it to local storage. No, local supply. Go. Do your thing. Huzzah! Stuff. Welcome. Sorters. Oh boy, that's quite a few. I didn't keep the pattern now, did I? There we go. The pattern! Must maintain pattern. I mean, everything has the middle one, right? Middle is always short, and then to do. Output, 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 output. Oh, so simple. Oh, how incredibly simple. There we go. Gib power. Extend! Extend the power! Okay, local demand, remote storage. And that will be that. Okay. Next. Da dee 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 da. CPUs. You will supply CPUs. To make the CPUs, here, I will want to bring in iron, copper, silicon. Which means I'll need to put all of these things into a logistics station. But for now, all of that there. We're going to have a separate thing that's going to be making the plane filters, Casimir crystals, titanium glass. Those are all going to be separate. Separate things. So, to make 5 quantum chips each second, we're going to need 10 CPUs, which is 20 circuit boards. So 20 circuit boards. And actually, what's the ratio here? Circuit board to CPU, speed-wise. We've got 2 every 3. We've got 2 every 1. Ah. So you're saying that one of these supplies 3 of these. Right. Well, there's no direct insertion that's going to happen there, sadly. I'll need to figure out how I want to arrange this. Oh yes, and then the microcrystalline components too. So 20 per second, that is normally 10, but it's 8, or 10 divided by 1.5, or 7. 7 of these machines. Seven glorious things. Iron, copper. And the output. The microcrystalline components. We're going to need 10 of those as well. Or 20 of those as well. To do 20 of them, we would otherwise need 40. By the way, the copper... 20 of these is 10. 20 of these is 20. So that is a belt of copper. Meaning I can put that here to make microcrystalline components. And this line would be silicon. And this line would be the output of the microcrystalline components. Now to get the 20 of them that I need, oh boy, 20, 40 divided by 1.5, 27, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Success. What do you mean collide? There you go. And then the CPUs. Which, I'll just hop over there. Just like that, and then the CPUs will come in there. Now, to get 10 CPUs, we'll need 30 divided by 1.5. 20 of these buildings. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Glorious, beautiful things. Out of building range. Alright, we've done it. We've done the thing. Just need to add sorters. So let's get the sorters going. Across the board. You output above. I'll need to pay attention to my placements. So there are other mods that I've been considering, by the way, for this beyond the pasting of the sorters. There is a mod, a couple of different mods actually, that let you see the information on the star system map a little bit better. There's one that actually gives you like a pane with different system information. Like as you hover over the stars, I think it'll show you what the resources are from star map view. Once, like, I think the way that it works is that if you hover over a star on the star map, it'll change the thing on the side with the stuff, the info for that star. Yes, Ollie. At the baby. Yes, at the belly. That's an Ollie's belly. That's a belly he's showing me. There is another that actually just stops the camera from zooming in on a star system when you click on it. So, because I don't want the camera to zoom in on the star, the first time I was in the map trying to look at this, the first thing that came to mind is, please God freaking stop moving the camera when I click on a thing, when I'm just trying to see what the information is in this of the stuff in the system. Right? It's incredibly dumb that that the game zooms in like that by clicking on the star and doesn't give you a means of seeing the information about all of the nearby systems. Like, the game needs a better way of displaying what's in nearby systems. What's in all of the systems in your cluster, for that matter. I must know what I'm dealing with. Just a screen that has the information about all the other stuff. Now, there is a statistics screen. I very rarely look at the statistics panel, but you can look by system at what you're making and what you're consuming to see where the problems lay. It appears I may have a slight problem on my silicon input, considering I am consuming more than I am producing. Same with copper. Might be just that I'm bringing in stuff from other systems. Steel I'm definitely bringing in from other systems, so... Same with diamond and crystal silicon. So many things. Wow. Graphs. Do you like graphs? I like graphs. Gamma Circini. Why is it? It shows you every system that you've ever been to, even if you haven't built anything there. I don't really like that page. It's like, oh yeah, this is your consumption and production per minute for this area. And I mean, really. And what's the point? What does it mean? What does it mean? There we go. That's all those sorters. Well, the problem is that again, it's not taking into account interstellar logistics. I mean, clearly, it's not taking into account interstellar logistics. And its base time is per minute, which is, frankly, complete baloney. Like, we don't think in minutes, we think in seconds here. Like, I need to be able to change the base time to seconds. Can I? Can I change the base time to seconds? No. Nope. You can see power in different places. The entire star cluster. Now that's more relevant information. I have used 492 terajoules. Cool. This is far more relevant. The entire star cluster production consumption, because then you know, oh hey, as it turns out, I'm keeping up on my iron ore versus my consumption, my copper ore versus my consumption, silicon is below my consumption, so I need to provide more silicon. I have enough titanium, I have insufficient stone, I have sufficient coal, I've got loads of fire ice, apparently processing as much kimberlite as I'm producing, fractal silicon, the optical grading crystals, there you go. I'm using it all already, so I need even more. Yeah, that's somewhat more useful information. You can make favorites of things. You can be like, oh hey, I'm making 112.5 critical photons per minute. I don't want to know per minute. I want to know per second. I want to know per second. Oh hey, there's my sciences. There's my sciences. Clearly the gravity matrix is the limit here. Ah, the Dyson Sphere. The glorious Dyson Sphere. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful. 19.7 structure point added per minute. Alright then. Continuing. Right along. Output all of these things. So, I've mentioned that we are basically at the end of this experience here. All of this that I'm doing is just for the heck of it, because all that's left is this freaking 4K research that will take less than half an hour to get. So everything here is just to be like, oh hey, I've scaled a lot. Yay me, I've scaled. Woohoo. We make more stuff. We're making lots and lots and lots of stuff, folks. Who'd have thunk it? In a game about making lots and lots of stuff, we've made lots and lots of stuff. Well, that's the thing, is I don't have any idea about what I will do next. This has been a series due to the generosity of a viewer, SlayManite, who gifted me a copy of this game. And I don't usually stream at this time of day. I started streaming in the afternoon just because it was like the only way I could stream this while not also having to get rid of other stuff that I'm streaming. Yeah, this game is great. Don't get me wrong. I wish it had more than what it currently has. Because, yeah, what they said about the whole 50-hour thing beating the game, yeah, that's about right, yes. In terms of how they've designed the pacing of the game, about 50 hours, sure. But a lot of that seems to be, a lot of that seems like it could be cut down by a lot if they gave us better tools to build more quickly. Things like blueprinting. We need to be able to blueprint stuff. Like, that's a need. We need to be able to blueprint. Silicon, glass, iron, copper. Yeah, the whole, it's way too tedious to put sorters on long assembly lines. That's a pretty big problem right now that needs to be solved. Sorters are way too tedious to place. I would have no complaints about the concept of just removing sorters from the game completely. I would have zero complaints about removing sorters completely from the game. But it's like, well, how do you get the stuff in and out? Auto place. Auto place. Make it a shift left click, shift right click mechanic, part of the pasting down the line. Like when I place a smelter, okay, and if I have belts on it, let me click on the smelter and have some sort of UI element here / hotkey that I can push to be like, I want to insert or output here and here. What is basically the sorter mechanic assigned to the machine itself that then can be copy and pasted as part of the default behavior of the game between machines. That is part of the like recipe copy pasting. Excuse me. Collide with what? Oh, it's a fault line. Okay, you need... Oh, I don't have any? Odd. I don't have any of these things. My thoughts on Satisfactory is that it's a far from complete experience right now. And building in that game is extremely tedious as it currently stands. Mods are mandatory to help ease the experience of building in Satisfactory. I enjoy the overall look and feel-ish, but it is very apparent that it is far from complete and nowhere near done. So I'm hesitant to play Satisfactory again until several more content passes have been done on that game. Because it's just not done. It's not done, and it's very easy to tell that it's not done. Alright, where's my delivery? Delivery? Delivery, where are you? I should be able to see the thingy. Unless I'm blind. I am likely blind. It is coming from Iklarkrav. There it is. There it is. It's this one. It's this little buddy. This little buddy's on his way. Yeah, it's just really tedious to build things. I really don't like the whole first-person building in Satisfactory. Just fundamentally, I don't like how you build stuff in first-person in Satisfactory. Which mars a lot of the experience. For me, in particular. But yeah, we were on the topic of what should follow this. I'm trying to decide if I should even continue streaming in the afternoons. Just as a step one, I need to think about what I want to do if I want to even continue afternoon streams in the first place. It does appear as if there are people who watch, regardless of what time I stream, in the mornings or afternoons. So that isn't really a detriment or benefit to me to making any decision. It's like, okay. Then I have to think, well, what do I play? And to top it off, my Autonauts series that I've been playing in the morning is not getting viewed much anymore. There was a peak of 3 viewers total in yesterday's Autonauts stream. There's 5 viewers right now on this stream. The peak has been 6 of this stream, day 14 of Dyson Sphere Program. We've had more than 10 early on. I think it was like 16, 17, something like that on day 1. So that big spikes, of course, at the beginning of a series. But 3 on Autonauts that I play every other morning. So I don't think I'm going to be continuing that one either next week. So I've got to put some thought into potentially 2 new series starting next week of something, and I don't know what at this point. I've wanted to play Subnautica for a while, so I'll probably do a Subnautica series as one of those. What time, what day, which time slot will it be? I don't know. But as for the other, like, I truly don't know at this point. I want to try to keep this style of game, the whole, whatever you want to call it, factory management, automation game, whatever it is you want to call it. Alright, so we need to set up our plane filter area now. The glorious thingies. Hello, Ollie. Welcome back. Welcome back to the land of the lap, my baby. Yes, the pretty boy. The pretty boy. Yes, that's big stretch. Big stretch. Big stretch for the baby. The big baby. The 11.5-pound baby. Yes, you get comfy. You get comfy right in the lap. I'm gonna bring my leg up to give you some support. There you go. There you go. Okay, well, that would be one thing. I've toyed with the idea of something like PC building simulator. Per Aspera. See? I don't own it. And you may or may not know that I am flat broke. Ish. But I don't have funds to just be willy-nilly buying a game. Especially when it's not gonna pay for itself, to be completely honest. Thank you for gifting this game to me, SlayMan. I haven't gotten a single super chat while playing this game. So thank you for gifting it to me. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Heck, I haven't gotten a super chat in a really long time. Really long time, and it hurts more because I didn't even get hit the threshold for a payout for January. So I don't even see anything until after crossing that threshold. It should happen for next month, I would hope. But yeah, my channel's just not there yet, where I can feel comfortable with making an investment of purchasing a brand new game for the purposes of playing it on stream and taking a risk that it won't actually pay for itself. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. So, well, yes, Per Aspera is on my wish list of things that I would like to try out at some point. A lot of games are. There's Per Aspera, there's NIMBY Rails, there's eventually going to be KSP2. That's going to come out in a couple years. There's lots and lots and lots of different games that exist that I would like, but hey. Gotta live first. There goes Ollie. You heard a noise? You hear a noise? Plane filters. How many of these do I need up here? How many? Where's my notes? How many plane filters? 10. Oh. 10 plane filters. I need 7. Oh god. That's a lot of buildings. I need 80. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 80 because it's 1.5x on the crafting speed on these buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. So obviously there's not enough room to place another line of 40 here. So I'm going to do this on the other side with the one belt in the middle. Yes, Kerbal Space Program 2 is going to be releasing, I think it's actually 2022 at this point for that release date, so quite some time left on that. That's being made by not the original creators of Kerbal Space Program. But it is promising to be a pretty big jump forward. In terms of the available content. It's promising to have interstellar stuff in Kerbal Space Program. We shall see about that, as well as colonization type stuff. I am hoping that it ends up being very nice and being a graphical leap forward as well. I mean, I'd be fine if it just feels like you're playing Kerbal Space Program, just with a bunch of those new features added to it, sort of like an expansion, as well as the requisite graphical upgrades. That would be fine for a sequel to Kerbal Space Program. Just more of the good stuff. And more stuff. Vicky simply missed yesterday. Yes, I know. I noticed. I missed you yesterday. You usually show up to Audernauts. Casimir and titanium glass. Well, you're gonna provide the plane filters. You're going to request those, and so the thing about the glass is probably gonna have to make both of these at separate locations. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I would like to continue Audernauts to the end, but if it's only really going to be 3 watching, then on a regular basis, I'll make a decision after the end of this week, after the Friday stream. Keeping an eye on view counts over time on that series. I have a lot of games to play that I'd like to play, or at least attempt to play. But it's just sometimes you don't know about whether or not something's gonna get watched until you actually start playing it, and then seeing, well, okay, no one's watching this, so let's try something else. Okay, bring both of these lines over. This is the infrastructure for half of the build that I originally planned, by the way. Let's keep all this in mind, that this is half. This is half of the original plan. The one that I did all the math for, the whole 10 quantum chips per second. And this is for 5. The ability to get 5. If it can be fed completely. doubt it can be fed completely, but we'll try. I'm likely gonna have a community vote for something. At the very least for what follows Dyson Sphere Program. Maybe take a bit of time off on the afternoon streams. Let people vote for about a week. And then come back with whatever folks voted on. I like having the engagement of people voting for what should happen next. It's just that I also need to, you know, figure out what I'm going to have on the votes. Like what the options are going to be for the votes. So that takes time too. And then once something's voted on, I also have to go through and it's like, okay, what's the thumbnail gonna look like? And I have to make the thumbnail and come up with the description for the videos. And announce what it is and all of that, what the timing's gonna be, what the goals are, etc, 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 etc. The last thing that was voted on was for Autonauts. So let's also keep this in mind, that Autonauts was voted on by the community between a vote of Subnautica, Autonauts, and PC Building Simulator. And it was actually relatively close between Autonauts and Subnautica. I guess one of these days I need to put on the list again the console games, but very specific console game that people have this very culty following for that I had done a Let's Play of a while back. It's the LucasArts game Gladius. That was on the GameCube, the Xbox, and the PlayStation 2 at the time. I have the GameCube version of the game currently. And I had done a Let's Play of the Valens playthrough. It is a tactical RPG involving gladiatorial games. And it takes well over 100 hours to do all of the content in that game. And I did a Let's Play where I did all of the content in that game. There was a bit of a gap where I stopped for several months, but it was over a year of my time to make that series. And I have relatively recently had to take that series down because there were several videos that had a end screen element that no longer applies to my current situation. And I've had people who want me to play that game again. And there, of course, are people who want me to play the other campaign as well. The game has 2 campaigns. You can play as 2 characters at the start of the game that have different starting positions. You have Valens and you have Ursula. I played as Valens initially and tried to get into it to play the Ursula campaign, but it just wasn't working out so well for me, so I had stopped that. But it was it was like the first completed Gladius Let's Play series on YouTube. I kid you not. Like, it was the first completed series of that game on YouTube, and my opinion, complete and utter garbage. Because it was over a long period of time, a lot of the quality of the videos wasn't very consistent, like, just in terms of even the way in which I rendered the videos. It wasn't consistent over that period of time, and the aspect ratios were changing in the videos, and my microphone settings were different. I had different microphones over the course of that period of time, and it's like, yeah, it showed a lot of the evolution of how things went for me. And of course, I would constantly get the people who are like, you are trash at this game. You should have done this and this and this and that, and use the characters in this other different way that's better. I'm like, dude, I played this game 4 years ago. You're telling me this now? I beat this game 4 years ago. And all of the content in it. And you're telling me how to play the game now? That's Let's Playing in general, by the way. That's one of those things. If you make videos of a game, you're gonna get comments about it forever. Even years later, you're gonna get the occasional comment that are like, you should have done this way. Or you should do this way. Or you missed this thing. 4 years later. Like, huh. People don't pay attention to dates in which videos are posted. They really don't. At times. Well, that's that thingy done. That's a glorious array of stuff. Next, probably just gonna go down a little bit to right about here. Yeah. I'll go here. You, take those. You, take those. This thing. This one is going to be the titanium glass. That's going to need water, which is not on this planet. So I'll need to bring in water from another planet. That's going to be great. Where's water? Water. And titanium ingot. And glass. And you are supplying that. You are demanding that. Demanding that. And you are demanding remotely because there's no storage there. So this building, I need to get 40 titanium glass per second. 20, excuse me, 20 titanium glass per second to feed that much. The titanium glass is 5, 2 per 5, divided by 1.5. So, so that's 2 every 10. What am I saying? What am I saying? If I place 5 of these machines, it's 4 out, It's 2 out on 5 machines divided by 1.5. Or times 1.5, excuse me. So it's 3 out every 5 machines. 3 per 5 machines. That's how I can think about that. I think. Maybe. It's 3 1/3 second that this actually ticks 2 on. So 2 every 3 1/3 second, which would, I hope, be 3 every 5 buildings. 3 per second for 5 buildings. Yes, that should be accurate. Now, I need 20 of them. You say that's 66.7 buildings. If I need 20 titanium glass, that number sounds about right, actually. Just do 0.4. 0.4 over 1.5. Or 0.4 times 1.5, excuse me. 0.6 per second per building. Yeah, 0.6. So 0.6 per building, 20 divided by 0.6. That's 33 buildings. 33 1/3 buildings. So I need 34 buildings. That's the math. That's math because it produces 2 glass here. So it's not that 66.7, it's because it produces 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gosh, I hope I counted correctly. 34. One belt. Two belts. Three belts. And an output belt. Ta-da! Alright, you. This doesn't have power, that's why it's not getting any of the glass right now. I may remote demand that. There we go. Hey, you. You. That. There. There we go. That will do. At least it better do. Now it's 4 of the sorters per building. Don't you love this recipe? 4 sorters. Per building. Now, modders are going to be a little bit limited, I think, into how much stuff they can shove as additional recipes, just because this whole there's only 1 lane per belt issue. Because it's going to be nearly impossible to have arrangements with more than 6 total items between input and output. There's a pretty hard limit to maintain a linear line of buildings. Now, of course, things like producing buildings, there's a bit of a difference there. Why did you get... I guess I got a remote delivery. Excuse me, but no. There. That's not... That's the titanium, yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. I requested the titanium through remote delivery. The problem is, I need to do the same thing with the water. Of all things. I need to ship water in a vessel. From planet to planet, just moving water. I hope water is dense as a resource. Stack size is high. Actually, that doesn't even matter with the logistics transports. They move a certain number of units of stuff regardless of stack size of stuff. Oh boy. How many of these do I have left? A few. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. We're good. That's good. That's good. That's good. And there. And let's not forget we've got one more thing after this. Oh boy. Yep, we've got one more thing after this. What is that one more thing? Casimir crystals. We still need Casimirs. And that's gonna be the next item. You are going to supply Casimir crystals. What are they? They are these things. They are hydrogen. And they are graphene. That's what they are. Interesting, I'm not actually getting any graphene sent here from my remote demand request. Huh. Interesting. Now, how many of the Mark III buildings am I going to need for this? What a great question. So I need 10, excuse me, Casimir crystals. Yes, 10 Casimirs. So for 10 Casimirs, we get 1 every 4 seconds. 1.5 speed is applied to that as well. So 1 every 3 seconds. Or actually 2.2 2/3 seconds? Huh? Really? Interesting. Alright, yes, that would be, I think... Yeah, it's 1.5, not 25. It's 50%. So... that changes things a lot, doesn't it? If it's at a ×1 multiplier, that would be 4 by 10, that would be 40. Divide by 1.5, 27 buildings. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 27 glorious buildings. Why, hello there. Just like the other side. 1, 2, 3. This is a lot of soil.
Foundation. A terrain leveling tool.
Yeah, it's terrain leveling tool. Who knew? Who knew about the terrain leveling tool? My goodness. Who knew, Kitty? Who knew, Ollie, about the terrain leveling tool? He's just sleeping. He's just sleeping. He's a sleeping and a snoring. Let's go. There's my Casimir. Just add inserters. And then, of course, I'm going to have an area where I'm going to do the fire ice stuff. I'll need to bring in additional doohickeys to work with that as well. Additional chemical plants to work with the fire ice. Now that was going to be here, actually, with the Casimir, so that I could prioritize the hydrogen input, because the last thing I want is to be flooded on hydrogen and have nothing to do with the hydrogen that's coming out of that fire ice. So I need to look at how much more requesting I can do in this station. I think I've got room for a fire ice request, and if I'm actually trying to think about this here and now, rather than the graphene, I should be pulling in fire ice. Come on, autosave. Whoops. There we go. Output. So many Casimirs. Not really much to say placing all these sorters. Hope you like sorters. There we go. That's better. Yeah, rather than the strict graphene input, you should really be fire ice. And then I would actually do this probably over here. How many chem plants would I need processing fire ice? Ha! Fire ice has a fuel value. Interesting, so that would mean that the thingies collecting the hydrogen and the fire ice would actually be consuming, that the orbital collectors would actually consume the fire ice, right? Rather than the hydrogen? To operate, it's 30 megajoules? Huh. Odd. Either way, I'm making several hundred of these, so it doesn't matter. In the slightest. I'm making a lot. A lot, and I would need, it's 20 graphene for my 10 Casimirs. So 20 graphene would mean 30 chem plants. No, it would be 20 chem plants. Cool. 20 chem plants. This is a faster recipe than the normal graphene. Excellent. Excellent. I don't have 20 chem plants, sadly. Because I have a total of 15. So up here at the North Pole, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit clear and reset on my smelters there. And the logistics drones. Sure, why not? I will hold on to those, give them new homes. We're going to bring in some glorious chemical plants. Just a few of them. Just 1,000 of them. And let's see, let's get power to that area, which I think is actually over here. Yep, all the way down here. Let's get power to the thingy. There you go. Those are all powered. I'll sneak around this ore vein. My, fire ice. Have transports. There we go. Alright, goodbye. I am almost done with the stream. You're not missing more than like 4 minutes. Yes, I shall be back with more of this tomorrow and the next day at bare minimum. Lots and lots to look forward to going forward. At least for the remainder of this week. Because, yeah, everything that I'm doing is just like for fun type stuff. 5. I should have the recipe assigned. Hold up. Fire ice. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Where are you? North Pole. Hi. Gimme. Could not forget to switch that over to the remote storage. No, I did not have to actually fly during that, but force of habit. Excuse me. Not. You are not out of range. That was 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. And 20. Ta-da! Ta-da-ta-da! You can't believe you're dismantling the X-ray cracking? Yeah. I know, right? There does come a point where it's just superfluous. You don't need it anymore after a while. Useful while it lasts, though. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. I'm gonna raise you. And I'm gonna back you off as well. This hydrogen needs to meet up in an interesting way. There. Belt Getty, yes, but by having it this way, it prefers this input. Yeah, I could use a splitter and have a input priority, but eh. Oh boy, filters, I hate. I hate filters. Tap, tab. Tab. Tab, 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 tab. Tab. Input. 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 Power time. Glorious substations are glorious. How's the planet look? Exactly like it's getting a bit of work done with acupuncture. Looks like it's been stuck with a whole bunch of needles. Glorious acupuncture. And we're making Casimir crystals. We're actually making them at this point because, wow, hydrogen. Who would have thought? That's just the hydrogen that's coming in from the orbital collectors. They're not actually making enough for this. I will need to bring in more remotely. I might actually be getting some truly remotely from interstellar sources rather than the intersystem. But yeah. That's Casimir's. They're going over to the thingies for the plane filters. I don't have water, so this isn't moving yet. The next thing I will need is to get water provided, but that's gonna have to come in from somewhere else. And that'll make the titanium glass for the plane filters. And once I have the plane filters, I already have the CPUs. That's the quantum chips done. So really, all I need to do now is go to the other planet. It was Notice 5. Yes, Notice 5. 7.8 AU away. Yeah, we're warping there. Thanks. Hello, Notice 5. This would probably be one of those points where I'm like, gonna just be like, hey, please warp within the system. Okay. Water! Hi. I need some of you. I'm not carrying any pumps around, am I? With that, folks, it's time to end the stream for the day. We are 5 minutes past. What did we get done today? God. We spent so much time here working on these Casimir crystals and other stuff for the quantum chips that that was basically the day today, is just quantum chips. Leaving us hanging a bit on the need for water being brought in to expand the quantum chips. I will be finishing this, maybe, off screen, so that we can figure out something else to do next time. Maybe we will just spend all of next time just finding all the different other places, seeing what the ore densities are like in the other regions about the place. But yeah, I need to figure something out, because we've got a couple more streams this week of doing stuff in the end game before thinking about moving on to something else. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been a Talking Show, but if you've enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social stuff below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit the notification bell, join as an Erudite Otaku member of the channel by hitting that great big blue join button. And of course, you could always support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushow, if you're so inclined and able. And I, of course, shall be returning with more Dyson Sphere Program tomorrow. I will be back with more Autonauts in the morning, and of course more Factorio the morning after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow. I hope to see you all on the next one.